Come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me, here with me, feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night. Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just walk your step with me, dance with me, here with me, feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me. Feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. Make a groove all night.
All right. Hello. Okay, so we get to work on a page I'm so excited about. Because one of the things, when I made the first chapter of Cannibal. Also, let me turn this down a little bit. Love this song, but it's quite loud. Okay, so one of the things that I felt I didn't do justice was the introduction of my villain in chapter 1. And I tried to make him feel a little charismatic and a little scary. But there really is only about 3 pages of him in the first chapter. You're not supposed to see a whole lot. I just was not very good at drawing him. And I think it came off as somebody trying to make somebody who is scary. And it really wasn't very scary. It was kind of just like poorly done. All that being said, now that I'm recreating it, I wanted to right that wrong. And I think I'm pretty happy with what I did in the storyboard. So I'm super excited to actually get to it. We might not get to like his first panel, or we'll get to his first panel, but we probably won't get to like the main panel. We'll see. I'm gonna do my best. But we have to get through 5 other panels before we get to the big one. Yeah, I'm just super excited because I feel like I've done him right this time around. So we're gonna hop in here. We're gonna do it. So this is the page. This is the page right here. All right. Sorry, the wife is calling, so I'll have to actually step away for one quick second. Sorry.
Les flocons de neige qui brillent dans le ciel nocturne me réconforte. Je t'attends seul dans le noir. Je t'attends depuis trop longtemps. Je peux t'entendre dans mon cœur, un murmure de ma propre confession. Le moment de te rencontrer maintenant.
O-rings. Call about O-rings. Alright, we actually get started this time. We actually do stuff now. So, we get to start. Did I turn on my... I did turn on my tour box. But I don't know if it's working. It is working. Okay. We gotta organize some of these frames because they're kind of out of order sometimes when I make them in Clip Studio. Alright, but this is the panel. I think this is a good introduction to a villain, you know? So, I actually don't think we need 3 layers. I think we only need 2 layers for our beloved cassowary. Alright. So I'm riding a high of a very successful, well, you know, by my standards, successful stream yesterday. And not really like it got a lot of attention or anything. It got, you know, it got some views and some chatters and some comments and stuff. But really, I think I was just mostly happy with the amount of stuff I got to get done. So I felt very good about that. And yeah, considering that the whole point of this channel is to get Cannibal done and talk about Cannibal and comics and all that good stuff, I'd say it's pretty successful. I'd say it's pretty successful. Another thing, I feel like YouTube will kind of like, and when I say surge here, I mean it's very minor by most people's standards, but I've got low standards. It's fine. It's fine. But I'll kind of go through like a surge of like, oh, I suddenly get a bunch of subscribers, and that's really like maybe like 18, 20, something like that. Not a whole lot, because my usual is like, you could probably average it down to like, I get a subscriber, maybe 2 subscribers a day. You know, it's modest growth. It's modest growth. But every once in a while, YouTube will also be like, we're just not showing your video to anybody. And while that's annoying sometimes, especially if it's like, man, I really worked hard on this video in particular. And I feel like it's those videos where I'm like, oh, I think this is a good idea and I think people will like this. And I'll work really hard on it. Those are the ones where YouTube's like, what if we don't show it to anybody? But anyways, my point is that sometimes you'll go through like some of those times where it's like, just screw you, buddy. Or other times where they're like, hey, what if you wake up to like 20 subscribers today? And I'm like, that's cool, that's sick. But I was kind of going through some of the like, nobody's really watching these videos. They're not being shown to anybody for a little bit. And then YouTube was like, actually, we've changed our mind. We're going to show these videos to people. And I had like 20 new subscribers this morning or something like that. Or maybe it was like between yesterday and today. Somewhere in between. But that's cool. That's cool. It's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. I know that. But you know, I remember telling myself this, and we probably all do this a little bit and probably lie to ourselves a little bit. But you know, if I can change one person's life or like influence one person in a good way, with this art that I make or something, I'll be happy with that. And I'd certainly said that to myself. And of course, sometimes you're a little selfish. You're like, well, it would be nice if it was like 1 million, you know? But, you know, I do take every single subscriber and I do appreciate every single one. I do really appreciate every single one because, you know, there's bound to be people that unsubscribe over time or like maybe hit it by accident or something. I don't know. You know, people that aren't going to be there for long. That happens, you know. It's like I've unsubscribed from people before, you know. But honestly, that's okay. Like every single one is meaningful to me regardless of the length of stay or even just how serious you are about art or drawing or comics or design, whatever it might be. So seriously though, am happy about that. I really am. So that has been very nice. The comments I've recently received have been very nice. Even I've had some critical ones too, which honestly they're fair. They're fair, and I'm okay with that too. You know, I don't really mind that. I think it's interesting to me because some of the ones that I was not really expecting to get that much attention were these design related ones about the color orange. I just really wasn't sure that there was like people that were that passionate about it or would even care to listen to my thoughts on it. And yeah, I mean, there's been people on both sides, people that have been so passionate that they've really enjoyed it, and then people that have been like looking at what I do and passionate enough to leave a comment criticizing what I've said or how I've made the piece. And that's fine. That's like all power to you. Like I love to hear that. I really don't mind like those critiques so much. And it helps me know too, like what do people really think about this stuff? And if people will like enjoy it or don't enjoy it or whatever. So I don't know. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm just, I'm enjoying the ride for now, really. That's all I'm trying to say, I guess. Trying to keep that going. I don't like that line. I'm getting a haircut today. My hair's been so long. It's been so long. And I feel like it's funny. I feel like 3 to 4 days before I normally get my hair cut, I'll try to do my hair and I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, it's too long now. It's like it kind of looks a little absurd. I feel like very spontaneously it might grow like a, I don't know, like a ½ inch or something, and then it's like, nope, you're starting to look like a fool. So I'm really excited for this haircut. I really need it. The tough part is like, you know, I've said this before. I'm not working right now, not because I don't want to. You know, just economy's not great. People are being laid off and stuff all over. So it's very competitive, and I'm in that group of people who've been laid off. All that to say, I'm fine. I'm not doing poorly or nothing. I'm just looking for jobs and trying to stay creative throughout that process and stuff. But you know, I'm not a fool. Like, you know, I know this could be a while. Hopefully not, but I know it can be a while. And the thing I'm trying to do is like, well, wherever I can spend a little less money, I probably should. I'm gonna try not to spend frivolously and all that good stuff. But one of the things I was like, yeah, what if I add another week to like how long I normally get a haircut? And this is my punishment. This is my punishment. You know, it's fair enough, dude. It's not that bad. I'm not going out a ton. Go out here and there. But I think like because I've prioritized Cannibal so much, it's like unless I have a reason to go out, I'm like, I could just be working on this, man. Which isn't the healthiest thing all the time. It's fine. Like, it's good to have a project and stuff. But also, like, it's good to be like, I'm just gonna go for a walk because I want to go for a walk. And every once in a while, I'll be like, I should work on this. I've got to stream in a second, you know? And that's not the smartest thing. But it's fine. It's okay. I'm not, I think the important part is that, like, I'm actually excited to do this stuff, and I'm not just sitting around doing nothing. It's just that, like, the thing I'm doing that's at home, not going out, is productive. It's fun. I enjoy it. All right. Let's get rid of the storyboard here. I can understand this a little bit more. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on this. So if I'm not showing my face much because my hair is a bit too long, I can always just wear a hat. And I'm also, like, I don't want you to think that I'm never going out because I'm embarrassed by my hair or something. Like, I'm still going to the grocery store or whatever. I think I'm just I'm really trying to say it's a coincidence that I am not going out too often. And my hair is not looking the best that it has been in the last week or so, I guess. Whatever. Who cares? It's just hair. Although I will say a surprising amount of comments that I'll get are about my hair. Both haters and lovers. And I'm like, device it up, I guess. I don't know. Be divisive. Some people like it, some people hate it. I will say, I'm probably going to cut my sideburns a bit. Not because anyone told me to. I think they're just getting a little annoying. Like, you see how this is curling up, right? That is really annoying. Like, I want them to be straight, but they start curling up. And if I'm ever caught in the rain, of which it rains a decent amount in this place, they can curl up so much that they're like nearly poking me in the eye. And that's that's just a goofy look. I start looking like a JoJo character, man. And that's cool and all, but like when I think about JoJo characters with crazy hair, I think about Alessi, man, and I just would like to distance myself as much as possible from something like that. That dude's a freak. I guess there's Poochie as well, who's also kind of a freak too, but maybe not quite in the same way. So, I don't know. Okay. I think that's good for her. Let's do the tone really quick. Man, who decided to go so freaking hard on the Lies of P soundtrack, man? I gotta check to see if this is accurate to the tone I've created for her. It's not. It's not. It's snot? What do you mean? Okay. We can make some small adjustments here. So am I not? Oh yeah, there we go. How do I select you, but deselect you? Cut you, paste you. No, I don't paste. I just fill. Maybe. And now I select you and I deselect all of you. And I cut and I fill. Who's filling? What's he cutting? Alright. There we go. We fixed it. We fixed it. And then your face is, I think, 60. I think that's the... I think that's the tone. Hey there, how's it going? So, next is halftone. Do we do any... Let's turn off the tone really quick. Turn that back on. Do we do any shading here? Don't. We don't. I think the storyboard for this one, aside from the bottom panel, I didn't really do a whole lot of detail. So I'll keep that in mind as I go through it. halftone time. Best halftones around. The True Grit halftones. Those are so good. I'm never going to stop talking about them. I'm never going to stop talking about them. They're just so good. They're so easy to use. I think just the grainy ones too is specifically so wonderful. All right, let's maybe start with some of this basic stuff first, and then I'll come down to the neck. All right. So I was pretty happy with how much progress we made on the last page, last two pages. It made me feel pretty confident about what I'm going to do for the bottom of this page. So once we get there, oh, it's all over. It's all over. Okay. All right, so we do need that not to be there. And then we can halftone this up a little bit. I think this whole side would probably be darkened up a little bit. But let's get the soft brush here to lighten up some of that edge. We'll have to push kind of hard for some of these little areas here that are meant to be a little bit darker. Man, that pressure control. Yeah, whoever made this brush is truly a genius. Just did everything I wanted out of a halftone. So, I was kind of disappointed because I have this art market coming up, and it was a little confusing for me at first because I got accepted into this art market, and then they were like, "Oh, there are these panels that were because it's like a Christmas one. It's like in December. Um, they're like, oh, we're having these like wood panels that you can come pick up and paint or whatever, and then you'll wrap them and we'll unwrap them on the day of." And I was like, am I getting a marketing email from this place for a different event? But I was like, no, it's scheduled for the same day as the art market. A little confused. And turns out that I guess they're doing like two things. They're doing this event, and then I guess they're also doing this. Oh, whoops! This art market at the same time. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could just like do one of these panels. And one of my main concerns is because I'd have to like go pick it up and bring it home, and it would be not like it would be done when I'd be home alone, I guess. I don't know. Like I'd have to go pick up the panel without a car. So I'd have to take like public transit. I was like, oh, I don't know, because now I have to. If it's a big panel, like I'm not gonna be able to bring it on the bus very comfortably. But it wasn't a very big panel, and then they sent out an email later on that was like, this is the last day that you can come pick up the panel. And it was the day that I was doing the screen printing workshop. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing this project now. Though honestly, I didn't really have a good idea for it either. They had like some suggested themes. I think it was like, I don't know, something along the lines of like what you're thankful for or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. But you also had to wrap them too. But I feel like the idea was pretty cool because also like in order to unwrap them at the day of the event, guests had to like donate to some charitable cause. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. All right. Oops. But I guess I still get to see what people do because I'll be at that art market. But I don't know if like if you do the art market and it's maybe in a different area that like you wouldn't tend to your table and also do this. I don't know. It was a little confusing because it wasn't a whole lot of information, and the email I got back was only clarified like the sizes of the wood boards. Whatever. Lesson for next time. I feel like that's a big part of doing markets is that like you kind of learn your lesson for the next year that it's active, you know? All right. I think I want to move this down a little farther. Yeah. And then I do feel like background needs a something. So maybe we turn off the text. select here and then go to like a light rough dot or something. I think this is gonna work. Yeah. Just add a little something to the back. All right. Just a little something. All right, next panel, next panel. What are we doing? That storyboard's so whack. It's not great. We could probably do something better. Let's get our, yeah, let's get that back, but then let's go back to our brush here. And let's see, we can grab a sketchy brush here. What about this? Yeah. Let's see what we can cook up here. Because what happens right after? Okay, real-time comic creation right now. Because this panel is probably the weakest of all the panels that follow, right? Because you have, yeah, okay. I didn't remember what was there either. I guess what would be interesting, because we need the character Croa in here talking. And I think his expression, I'm just gonna talk through like my whole process here. I think his expression is very worried. Kind of like when you show up late to work, you're like, oh man, like I really hope hope nobody sees that I'm late or something. But I know I'll have to face the consequences. And I think also like having to remain a little bit professional. I think showing up late is pretty much it. It's like you showing up late to work. Like you have failed to do the basic duty. So thinking about that, and we don't have a ton of space. We got a wider panel than we do a taller panel. I kind of almost want to do like a it's gonna look a little odd for a second, but like an ant's perspective almost. But probably not like covering everything quite yet. Maybe I don't know, maybe it starts at like the waist or something. And this is basically what I do at the storyboard stage. Because I feel like it should kind of have this perspective a little bit. Maybe a little bit wider on the shoulder there. Got his tie here. I think it goes a little farther. I don't know if we'd see the tip of it. It's got the lapel there. And I don't think his mouth would be closed. I think it would be open. So it'd be kind of like this. And then he's got the antenna back here. He's got both of them. It's interesting. I don't know if this is the move, though. So his arm might be, like, sticking out a little bit. Okay, so that's an idea. We could try something different, too. We could try something where it, like, it's just full expression. Like, that's all we're trying to see here. Maybe it's too big, though. Because he's got like a bit of a unique mouth. That's probably still too big, huh? Let's bring it down. I think the head shape's pretty off. It's kind of similar to what we already did, right? Kind of, but expression's like not really there for the storyboard. What else could we try? It's hard because, like, one of the ways I can control, like, expressions and, like, the specifically, like, shocked or scared is the eye and, like, the pupil. I guess the iris and the pupil, right? Because it's, like, you can, like, open up the eye a lot more. And if the eye is, like, if you can see the top part of the iris, right, it looks more scared than if you don't. Because if your eyelid is covering the top of the iris, that reads more calm. You know, but if you can see the whole iris, the whole pupil, then I feel like it's it feels more terrified. I guess the other thing I could try is just doing it in the pose itself. So, like, no, I think let's lower it a little bit. Lower it a little bit and make it, like, thinner. Let's just simplify this as much as possible. And I think it would be like here. I'm thinking like this kind of pose maybe. And maybe the shoulder would be out this far, like that. I think this feels a little bit more like a little anxious, a little nervous, maybe still a little bit, still remaining professional. You know, you're not like mouth agape at your boss or something. Um, I think this is a better idea. Get the lapel in there. Yeah, I think that feels better. That feels a little bit more organic compared to the other ones. Okay, so that being said, we turn this off a little bit. Let's get our layers named here, because we didn't do that. Come back to our ink brush here, and then we'll create it a little bit more proper. We'll fill that in a little later. Okay. Sorry, I'm like so focused. I have not said anything for the last, I don't know, like 2 minutes or something. I think it's got to extend a little bit out. Got to erase to kind of fit that. All right, random topic here. Did you ever watch the, like, what is it, the Conjuring movies? Oh, this is the wrong layer. This here. Man, okay, so I remember seeing Insidious. All right, I remember seeing it when it came out, and I thought I haven't seen it in a long time. All right, so like some grace here, but I was like, oh, this is a good movie, and then they like go down in his like little lair, and I vividly remember seeing them showing like the creature's feet, and it being like two hooves, and they just kind of like clop these like fake hooves to show him walking. And I just like, I was laughing. I was like, this is so goofy. They've ruined this movie. They had something good going, you know, and they just like ruined it so quickly. They just like messed it all up. And I was kind of disappointed because I was like, I thought this had good potential. And then they just kind of like messed it all up, man. And my wife is so into them, and like the Conjuring movie specifically, right? And I don't think the first one's that bad. All right, I don't think it's that bad, but I do think it's a little cheesy. So like it's still definitely not for me. And I don't know, I don't get scared that much at movies. Like jump scares don't typically get me. Some like I've had some jump scares get me, don't get me wrong. You know. But like I think it's the like the ones who really understand what a jump scare should be, and they're rare, they're few and far between. Best example I can give of like a good jump scare is if you watch It Follows, right? And they get up to, I don't know if it's the attic or if it's just an upstairs bedroom, but the girl's up there and she's like freaking out because she thinks they're after her, and she's like locked the door, and her friends are like, hey, open the door, it's us, it's just us, there's nobody else here. And she finally opens the door, and you think that like she's gonna open the door and it's gonna be like one of them, and it's not, it's the friends. There's no jump scare there, and no big like sound cue. There's like I think a sound cue, but it's not like loud as hell in your face. And a really tall guy just like pushes past the friends and into the room, and that is like, I would consider that a jump scare, but I would consider that like a very good one. One that like knew what to do, and that you didn't need to rely on like a really loud noise to make it happen. You could just be like horrifying in the jump scare itself, rather than just being like loud noise, scary face, you know? Something fell. It's like that stuff. I'm like, how is that scary, man? It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing that it's like you're so lazy about it, man. There's no creativity to this. And I say this as both like horror films like biggest hater and lover of all time, man. Like I've grown up with horror movies, loved watching so many horror films as a kid, and I've watched this genre like die and like literally be the bottom feeder of film. Like it sucks. It's like one of the worst genres of all time, and I hate that because I love horror films, man. I love horror films. You know, it's like you see something like the original Hellraiser, and it's like, yeah, sure, some of it is a little bit kitschy at this point, but honestly, it still holds up really well, surprisingly well. And it's like, that's because Clive Barker is a creative genius. That guy's really, really creative. He's really good at what he does, you know, and there's nothing else to it, you know. It's like he didn't write it trying to go, how can I scare somebody? He wrote it being like, how can I make something creative that I love, and it also happens to be a horror film? And that right there, that's the stuff, man. You know, it's like, I think if you go into it thinking like it's got to be scary, and that's my whole purpose, I think you've already lost the plot, man. You've already lost it. And like, I'm sorry, but I can't follow along, because it's just like, yes, the point is to be scary, but like, it's not like be scary at all costs, you know. It's like, I don't find jump scares, even when they get you, to be scary most of the time. The It Follows one's a little bit different, because like that is like, if I were to see that would scare the hell out of me, you know. But it's like, most of the time, if a jump scare gets you, you're really just like suddenly surprised. It's somebody jumping out from behind a door. Okay? It's not actually scary when somebody jumps out from behind a door. You just were probably thinking in your head about something totally different, and it came out of nowhere. Anyways, that's my rant on The Conjuring. I think it's one of the worst film franchises, and I think it established a lot of really bad habits for the horror film genre. I think there were bad habits that already existed, for sure, But I think because it's kind of become, for whatever reason, I can't understand it, the like quintessential horror film of the time period. I'm like, this is garbage, man. It's like, I can also understand people who are like haters of slasher films, because in some ways it's like, yeah, I don't know, they're not actually that scary. You know, I think it's just like, it's kind of like Saw in some ways, where it's like, yeah, what is the scariest way that we can like film someone dying? Like, what is a way that like we can kill somebody that people would be like, man, I would hate to die that way? And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. It's like, oh, this person got chainsawed in half. But I even those I have more respect for, because I'm like, you go into it knowing what you're going in for. You know, it's like you know you're not going in for like an actual scary movie. You know, it's like you're seeing the monster early. He's not that scary. You know, it's a guy in a hockey mask, or it's a guy in a clown outfit, you know. I don't know. I think you kind of just go into those like for a good time, for a Halloweeny, kitschy good time. And that's fine, dude. I'm there for that. I'm not there for like, also, man, another thing that bothers me, I'm not religious, okay? I grew up Catholic, okay? But I wasn't Catholic for very long. And I was Catholic long enough that I like actually like read and studied the Bible a little bit. And I think that's what kind of pushed me to be like, I don't buy this. I don't buy this. All that being said, I'm not a Satanist. Okay? Not at all. Never have been. I don't plan on being one. Okay? But it does really bother me when a film basically makes its entire like scare, ooh, Satan's gonna get ya. Satan's a bad guy. He's gonna get ya. I'm like, what? Like, are we seriously still doing that? I also just made the entire layer black for some reason. There we go. Let's undo that. But I'm like, are we not smart enough as a society to just kind of be like, yeah, sure, in Christianity, the devil is a bad guy, kind of. He is like the ruler of the underworld, and he certainly did undermine God, but like, it's not like he's irredeemable either, you know? Like, he serves God still, dude. He has a purpose. Like, what do you mean, man? But I don't know. And again, I totally get that it is scary, but it's like, I don't know. There's religions that do worship him, and the religions that do worship him aren't out there like killing people. Like, sure, you got the like Charles Mansons or whatever, but it's like you also have some crazy like religious, like Christianity religious cults that have done some pretty serious stuff, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I don't love the whole like, we're gonna make this religion what's scary. And like that was a big reason I didn't like Long Legs. I was bought into the marketing. I thought it was gonna be good. And like, it starts out all right. It starts out okay. I didn't really mind any of that stuff. But then once, you know, I think like after Nick Cage, I guess I won't spoil it, but like after he goes into the interrogation room, you know, he starts talking about Satan and stuff, and then it kind of because it essentially switches horror genres on you. You think it's a slasher a little bit, but it's not, or like or maybe like a psychological thriller or serial killer type of thing. And then it's not at all that. And it's just all about like, ooh, Satan's gonna get you. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, that's not scary, man. And that's so disappointing. It's so disappointing, man. Like, that's the real reason I even say anything. Because I'm like, I'm just disappointed in you guys, man. Like, we could be doing so much better, you know? It's like, this is why people still talk about, like, Hereditary. Because it didn't do a whole lot of... There's some, like, mysticism, like, spooky, paranormal type of stuff in there. But so much of what's actually horrifying about that movie isn't that. And, like, people still point at the scene of... Sorry, spoiler alert here. But of the mom on the ceiling. And why is that so scary? Because you didn't see it the first time. That's why that's so scary. It's like, come on, man. Come on. And, like, I like Hereditary. It's a good movie, okay? But also, I'm like, I think we can do better than this. I think we can do so much better than this. We just aren't. We just aren't. Because the people making horror movies aren't creative. They're not. All they can think about, in my opinion, is what the next jump scare is. And, like, what's another weird way we can kill somebody. And I think, like, if you've seen enough horror films, that's not interesting anymore, man. That's just, like, not interesting. It's like, yes, man, I've seen somebody get chainsawed in half both ways, like, 12 times now in horror films. It's not that scary anymore. It's and maybe, like, I'm just, like, brain rotted on horror films or something. That could certainly be the case, all right? It could be that I'm cooked. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that horror films just kind of suck right now. But I don't know. Even the chainsaw guys at haunted houses aren't scaring me much anymore. I will say, if there's ever a situation where there is a real serial killer in the haunted house, man, I'm toast. I'm toast, because I'm probably saying hi, dude. I'm probably just laughing at him when he comes out with the chainsaw. Alright, I think I just toned this. I feel like I'm not doing the most amazing detail work here, and it'll probably just be better served by more halftone. I'm like Christopher Walken, except it's not a cowbell, it's more halftone. I'm crazy about halftone now. Oh, stupid pixelized texture. Get out of here. Alright. I think I made you 60 on the tone. I think I did. But I missed the eyes. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Horror films are so disappointing. And, like, I love films in general. I really do. I feel like I don't watch enough films. But also, I don't know, I've seen really good films, okay? I've seen really good films, and a really good horror film still doesn't, like, stack up to just, like, a really good film. That's where I am like, I want more, man. I want people to do better. Cause, like, I don't think I've ever... Let's find out. I think I went through my letterbox before. But I don't think I have any, like, 5-star horror films. I don't think so. Maybe there's one. Let's see. Oops. Okay, films. Sort by my rating. Highest first. Okay. All right. So there are, I don't know, like 3.5, I guess. Alien is up there. Okay. It Follows actually gave 5 stars, which I'm like, is it though? Is it though? Might not be 5 stars, but it's a good film. Green Room. Green Room is the other one. Green Room is actually pretty good because I don't know, man. Like Nazis are punks, but also like I don't think people know how scary a Nazi can really be if you know that's all that's around. But the other one, like Seven, kind of is a horror film. Kind of not. It's kind of not really a horror film, but it is kind of. Um, so that's why I said a half. Alright, I'm gonna do something with all that. Just trust for a second. Just trust. Um, and we gotta turn this back on. I don't know. I just have like so many more films that I'm like, this is so much better, and it's not a horror film. And like, again, I'm not saying that there are no good horror films. There are. They're just like even the good ones aren't that good of a film itself. Like I watched Bring Her Back recently, and I didn't think Bring Her Back was gonna be good. But I've heard so many people say it's good, and I was like, dang, it's pretty good actually. It's pretty good. Better than I expected. But even so, I'm like, it's alright. And one film I did really like, but I'm like, I wish it was better. I wish it was a little better. Is Men. I loved Men. I thought Men was sick. But I do kind of wish it was better. And I do kind of wish I had made the scale smaller, because I think I'm using the wrong one, huh? Let's go with like 50 here. I feel like this would look better. I don't know. Please make better horror films out there, man. Please do. I will say, I don't think I ever put this on my letterbox now that I think about it. The Substance. I think of modern horror films, actually. The Substance is probably the perfect horror film. I think it is a beautiful homage to horror films. Because it has so many of the elements classic to horror films. And I think it's a story done right too. Like I think the story that she was trying to tell, she told it right. She did a good job. And I think the performances were very good. I think the special effects, I mean, like, it goes through so many phases, right? It goes through like the weird mystery. It goes through like, I feel like something that's pretty common for horror films, and I think it's more of a new thing, but it is pretty common. So like, I think it's ahead of its time in some ways, or like in its time, but also homage to like older horror films as well. Is the like splitting up the story into like different chapters from different perspectives. And I think it did it in a very unique way that a lot of times you don't, I don't know if I've seen it anywhere else. You know, it did it in a way where it's like, sorry, this is gonna be spoilers. I'm just gonna talk about the substance, okay? So I'm giving you leeway right now to just like avoid the spoiler, but like it's gonna happen. So like the all right, go get out of here. The thing that's so cool about it is that it takes that chapter perspective and it does it with the same people. It is the same person every time, you know? But it's like, nope, now it's from this person's perspective. But it is technically the same person. It's so cool. So I love that part about it. Why can't I? Oh, it's because I'm on... Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I'm gonna go here. Yeah. Okay. And so that I feel like is a nice touch for like the modern, doing something that modern horror films are doing, but in a totally new, different way. Okay. The other thing is they're taking that same idea, all right? Actually, let's just select all of this stuff too. Just not overcomplicate things for ourselves here. What was I saying? So they're not only are they doing that, okay, they're also taking classic tropes like body horror, right? I think in general you can describe the whole film as body horror. That's very fair to say. But it goes through that phase for a little bit, and then it becomes less body horror. It almost becomes like a slasher for a little bit. And it also has its like kind of Rob Zombie moment of like blood and gore everywhere and like just psychotic like section. I don't know. It like it's so strange and hard to describe, but it's almost like a music video of just like the insanity, you know. And I feel like it's just very Carrie inspired too, you know. I mean, not just by the amount of blood, but it's like, I think also what it's like expressing in that moment is kind of similar. Maybe I don't like this, actually. I feel like it's not looking very good. I think I want to try something slightly different. So it's like there's that Carrie inspiration that's so cool and stuff, and maybe a little bit more wiggly. I think that's okay. And what else is there? It has like jump scares too, but it's not very focused on those jump scares either. It's not like, that's certainly not one of the main grabs of the film, but it also is, I think it recognizes it can't perform without that. Okay. Sorry, I'm focusing on my comic really quick before I finish what I was gonna say. And then like, not that I'm like crazy about this, but like, let's be real, like horror films are notorious for like overly sexualizing the women in the films. What am I doing? And it does that too, you know, there's like that element of it, but I think they do it better because there's a reason for it, and it's contributing to the entire story rather than just being like gratuitous for no reason at all. So I can appreciate that. I mean, the whole point of the story is in regards to the bodies of people, but more specifically women. So I think it's at least done right. It has some surreal moments of like surreal horror films. What else? It's been a minute since I've seen it, so I'm trying to kind of go off of memory here as well. I gotta switch back. Where is my? There it is. Sorry, I'm focusing. Give me a second. I think it's also doing that thing where it's like turning very strange social norms on its head a little bit. And then obviously, not that this is like such a unique concept or whatever, but like kind of does focus on like how awful men are with just how much they sexualize women. Who was it? Dennis Quaid, I think, is in that. That's like that really gross dude. You know, and he has like those executives that are like just as gross. And I think I just like that it leaned into some of the like cliche, but also like classic horror film tropes. Even in regards to like how they make, like they use some really cool practical effects. And that to me, it's like there's an era of horror films that was using a lot of CGI. And they were around a lot when I was a kid. Or a teenager. So it's like I've seen a good amount, okay? And that's not to say that they're all bad, but I think that everybody's pretty much like it. The king of that is practical effects. It's always been the best. You know, we always look at things like The Thing or the Fly, or we look at, I guess those are both kind of body horror. I'm trying to think of something that isn't that. Even just like Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, it's like some of those like practical effects or makeup, those are what's like super cherished, you know, is those like really cool practical effects. So it's like the fact that it goes for that. I mean, the ending scene is so cool, and I think it's practical. Maybe it's not. That might be the CGI scene. I can't really remember. But it does a little bit of everything, and I think it does it all right, and it doesn't overstay its welcome either while it's doing all that stuff. So I think like of the horror films out, that might be one of the most like perfect films. I think it's very solid. I don't know if I have much more to say on horror films at that point. I've crapped on them enough. I've glazed a few, you know. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, they're not in the best spot ever, but there are a few directors out there that are definitely trying to make it work, man. I appreciate that effort, but oof, we gotta stop supporting stuff like The Conjuring. Are you kidding me? What a sloppy, lazy, and I think like kind of xenophobic in like when it comes to religions and stuff like that. You know, like yes, I can understand that for certain religions Satan is scary, but also it's like I think we can also just respect like that Satanism is a religion and they are respectable people too. And I think that if we made horror films about how crazy and scary God is and stuff, you know, people get offended. I think that like there aren't many of them, you know, but even those are typically associated with like the acts of people just going too far, like Saint Maud, right? Longlegs was not that. Longlegs was a serial killer and stuff, but then it literally just becomes, spoiler alert, Satan. Satan's the one who's doing it. And it's like, come on, man. I don't know. I'm maybe that this is the woke in me or something. Woke is back or something. I don't know. But it's just I'm like, I just can't get into it, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just like there's a level of like disbelief suspension I can't give you for that. I can't give it to you. It's like as soon as you go that Satan route, I'm like, well, now I'm not like now I don't think it's scary. It's like I can even buy like I don't believe in ghosts, but like I can buy into that at least, you know, but it's like as soon as you start going, it's Satan that's doing it, you've lost me, dude. I can't take it seriously anymore. And I think what's also so disappointing about Longlegs for me is that I think what it was setting up was very interesting. It was very interesting if it had just like come from a person. If one person, Nicolas Cage, if it was all about this guy and this crazy guy doing all this stuff, that's interesting to me, man. That is actually interesting. And you know, there's that twist at the end, which I won't reveal. It's not like the very end or whatever, but like it's towards the end. It's like you could still have had that happen, man. That still would have been like pretty good. You know, it's like you didn't need to go into the whole like Satan is bad and he's the one that's gonna get you route. You know, you didn't have to go into that. There's like a whole thing with dolls or something too. I don't remember. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think rant's over. I think rant's over. That's about all I gotta say. Stop watching The Conjuring. I think it's over now. But I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with The Nun 3. That's the other thing too. I don't think they're very entertaining either. I saw The Nun 2 in theaters. Against my will, I wasn't the one who wanted to go see it. But I was a nice husband and friend and was like, I'll go. It's fine. But I try to stay attentive. And I will like still try to watch a bad movie, you know, and still try to have a good time. Like maybe it's such a bad movie, like what's fun is just making fun of it. But yeah, the Nun 2 was the only film I think I've ever fallen asleep watching in a theater. It was so boring. And I will say, I think like there's this big scene at the end of it with the nun. Like, I think the CGI is actually done very well. I remember going like, oh, that's actually kind of beautiful a little bit, you know? But I think it's the only redeeming quality of it all. You know, it's like, it's a few frames. So, that to me is not really enough to go like, yeah, it's a good movie because a few frames are beautiful. I mean, like that for me is like it's a 1 star, man, half a star maybe. Can I do that? I don't know. It's probably what it is. So, I don't know. Oh, man. See, it's about 2 o'clock. I do think I'm probably not getting to that panel. Because I have to go for this haircut. Which I want pretty bad. What more can I say? Can I say anything? Should I say anything more? Thinking about your monologue, Jeff Goldblum. Alright, here's how we make him look a little bit more shark-like. I think is it 40 we should add? Might be 60, we'll see. We could probably clean it up a little bit more. Maybe have to go across that edge there. feels right. And then I think I can darken this here. Since we have it, we'll do that for these as well. Okay. Just time for the background now. Maybe darker. Let's add the halftone. Let's actually up it a little bit. Back to 60, I think. Okay. I guess on the topic of movies, recently saw, never seen this before, Requiem for a Dream. And I don't know, I think everybody's probably heard the song, or maybe if you're an internet kid, you know, from Requiem for a Dream. Because it was all over like horror YouTube videos of like the early 2000s. Didn't I rename this already? But I remember I even learned that song on piano. Before I had ever seen the film. Just messing around, not like too seriously. But now I've seen the film. Now, holy shit, man! Holy, that's something. That is something, man. Somebody check on Darren Aronofsky, man. Is he okay? Because that was brutal, man. That was brutal. Jared Leto kind of deserved it, though. I don't know, at this point, it's hard for me to like anything that he's in, dude. He's such a freak. I don't understand how like he keeps getting cast and stuff. Cause I'm like, he's got some serious problems, and people need to look into him, man. I don't know. I don't trust that guy. And like him trying to do the Heath Ledger thing, not like playing the Joker, but like being in character outside of the filming. Like that's cringe as hell, dude. And like also he just did it and like he like did not understand the objective. Like he did not get why Heath Ledger did what he did. He had no idea. This guy was just like acting like a freak for no reason. So I think we do select this. because we did a thing last time. Here with our brush. Okay, now we switch back. This is such a hard brush to control. Okay, I think this is gonna get the effect that I want. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll try something slightly different. And just try to outline him a little bit. All right, I think this is a better. If we do it the other way around, what does that look like? I think it looks like crap. Let's just merge those two. There's not a lot of text here too, is there? Oh, what does he say again? All right. All right. Let's bold this and that. Wonder if I can do. I don't know if that's worth it. I think we just keep it like this. Okay, that was terrible. Gotta start there. Okay. That feels good to me. All right. This is like an actual scene here. So 4 layers for us. Getting kind of hungry. What are we doing? Okay, that's what we're doing. Get our brush back. Where is it? There it is. Cool. Let's try making it look a little bit more swollen. Alright. It's a little tough to get all this in here on such a small panel, but I think we'll be alright. Let's do that. Okay. I felt pretty good doing this one basically from imagination. Like the pose turned out pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm kind of locked in. Is that everything for him though? I think it is, right? I think I want to clean this up a tiny bit. We do want the belt also, because that'll be a different color. We'll just do it on the details layer there. All right. Sorry, I am super locked in right now. I can barely even talk. All 2 brain cells are dedicated. right now. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I could do more than one thing at a time? Let's start over here, I think. I think this is also one of the most like satisfying parts. Oh, sorry, I had to like crack my back there. Is seeing these like storyboards, these ideas kind of come to life. All right. Okay, get his knee in here. No, that probably wouldn't stick out that far. His foot would be a little bit in the water, so I'm gonna do that. Anything else? I think that's good. All right, we do that. Actually, we don't need anything else for this. We do the rest on the details. Let's start with you. What a mean fella. What a mean fella. Who would do this to their brother? All right. This one's probably barely visible there. Okay. Let's keep going here. Okay. It's gonna be a little tough because he's definitely got to look messed up. So you gotta add another extra layer of detail here that's gonna kind of show that he's pretty hurt. Let's fill this part in. No, I do not want to increase my brush size. Don't ask. I'll suffer through it. I will say, I used to do that all the time. Like, never increase my brush size. Because I was so lazy. I didn't want to, like, go over here and click or whatever it is. Just doing that motion because I normally used Photoshop back then. But this thing right here, this toolbox, man, did wonders for my line quality. I tell you what, because I stopped being so lazy and would just change my brush size. I just wouldn't like learn the shortcut. I would always go over here, and because of that, I never wanted to increase my brush. Such a stupid thing, but like, I don't know, this toolbox thing really works for me. Like, I can't imagine drawing without it, you know? It's like if I ever got a job drawing full time in an office that wasn't like an at-home office, I would either just bring this with me or buy another one. It's that good for me. I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna turn this off. And also, I forgot, I have to make him look kind of wet. Because he's drenched. Okay. Okay. I think that should work. Oh, that's right, I gotta connect these two. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's better not to. Okay. I'm gonna tone now. I forgot. Your suit's dark? Is it dark? What's dark? It's your fur. It's your fur that's really dark. Your fur is very dark. Yeah, that's it. Nope, that's not it. Foot. Gotta get the foot. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty much on track to stop right before I get to the real panel. But you know, either way, like I'm still super excited about it. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. So, all of this needs to be color as well. What is this? Is that fur? I think it is fur. And then your eyes as well. Come on, come on. You can do it. And then you are 60. Gotta really select every bit here. Jeez. Fingers as well. Missed a little part of the suit and some of the fur there. That should be it though. Oh man. It's been a good week for me. It's been alright. Even though not everything's gone my way, it's been alright. It's been alright. I think honestly, just like my main real concern is just eventually hearing back from some of these jobs, because they're so adamant on not responding to anybody. I saw one, so there's one I applied for, and it was a little bit of a long shot. Like I could totally do the job. I'm totally capable of it, but it would essentially be like a promotion for me. All right. So that being said, threw my hat in the ring anyways. Was like one of the first ones to apply. So I was like, you know, I feel like that always ups your chances a little bit, you know. It certainly makes it worse to arrive late. Okay. And then they like sent out an email that was like, hey, we're reviewing all of the applications. We're gonna narrow it down to 5 out of 482. And I was like, holy dude. At that point I was like, there's no way, dude, there's no way. You know, it was already a little bit of a long shot because I didn't have experience already doing that position, but it was one I was certainly capable of. But I was like, dang, man, it's rough out here. It's rough out here. 482. And it didn't look all that crazy. I gotta be real. Like for that position, that type of position, I was like, the pay's not crazy. It might be a little bit below, you know? But it's a rough world out there. But all that being said, like I got, you know, you get job rejections all the time when you're looking for jobs and stuff. Got a few this week. But I don't know, I guess I'm kind of at that point already where it's probably happened pretty quick. But where you kind of just go like, yeah, I'm used to it. It's fine. It's not your dinner time. What do you want? It's not your dinner time. You just want to come on stream again, don't you? You just want to come on stream again. Okay, now I got that. Cool. Get all of this. Make it 80 textured. I think we take all of that in this little bit. Make it probably 40 textured. We can turn it down from there if we want. Yeah, I think we will a little bit. Okay. Add the details back in. We're gonna select this really quick. New layer, and then throw some halftones on that layer. Okay, that should be fine. Now we're gonna go through, add them everywhere else. Everywhere else we need them. Sorry, I just had to check really quick for a second if I was on the right brush. For some reason I was convinced I wasn't. But I'm good, I'm good. I think it's probably just because it's such a small panel. It looked a little different. Small panel where I'm drawing these complex forms, you know. All right. Getting this all done. Get some stuff on, get some detail on that hair as well. And some on the face just a little bit. I think we do that. I'm gonna show that there's another figure here. Okay. We don't need too much more. I think we just add the text in here. Where is there's my storyboard. Okay. Pretty simple. Let's see, we want one here. He's a mean fella, so he's gonna swear a little bit. All right, oops. Gotta hit that, and then we can properly dialogue this balloon. Let's move this over a little bit. And then to show that it's coming from off screen, we'll do that. And then this one, let's make it a little wiggly because he's certainly beat up. Move this over a little bit. There we go. Maybe we also like do that. Kind of show that he's exhausted. All right. Really quick, let's save, because I've not, oops, didn't mean to do that. I've not saved this entire time. So, want to do that for a quick second. All right. Feel pretty good about the progress so far. All right, probably have time for one last panel. Let's get the storyboard in here. Let's figure out how we're gonna do this, because I think that this is fine, mostly. It's just a little, I don't know, it looks a little cheap in the storyboard to me, so I don't want that in the final. We definitely are gonna need speed lines. I think we'll want something for that crunch effects there. And we'll want a line for each one of them. But we're gonna go in here really quick, get our sketchy pencil, kind of figure it out a little bit better. Because I almost feel like, okay, so we have this fist, right? It's maybe a bit big, no? Is there a better pencil? Maybe this one. Okay. Alright, so like the shape of the fist is fine. Alright, it has to be this one. Coming from over here, based off of what's going on in the panel before. Alright, but I do think also, like, maybe it just needs to rotate a little bit and go past what I have going on here. And it's like, this is now too short for a forearm. And it's gotta kind of turn this way a bit. So then what we'll do is we'll erase these lines. Maybe it's too far. It's coming up too far. Like that, maybe. So then the speed lines are kind of going this way. Alright. I'm actually just going to do a separate layer for this guy, just in case I need to adjust. And then this is kind of right, but kind of wrong, because this here, right? This is all well and good. That's fine. But also, I think that he needs to be turned more. Like, it should be kind of like this. It's gonna be a little confusing while I have the storyboard on for just a second. Let me turn that off really quick. Like this. I think it needs to be more like this to show that he got hit so hard, his head turned. Also need his ear here. And like part of his... Have I ever never drawn him at this angle? Maybe I haven't actually. But yeah, part of his hair needs to kind of like go the other direction because of inertia. His ear would actually kind of show a little bit. something like this. Emphasize the nose a little bit. And he's definitely scuffed up already, so you can't forget all of that. Whoa. This has to kind of go up a little bit higher. Yeah, so that's the idea there. And then we can kind of keep his, like, distorted clothes because of how far he's being hit. Just emphasize it maybe a little more. Because I feel like you don't really see it too much in the storyboard here. But maybe we can also take the hand and make it like kind of a prominent part of the bottom corner here. So like, here's this knuckle, here's this knuckle, here's this one. That's all fur there. Gotta turn this off a little bit, kind of figure out what's going on here. So he would get kind of knocked a little bit this way. Maybe it's too close there. And I think his hair is not vibing with me the way I want it to. It doesn't look like him. All right, cool. But I think this way it's gonna feel a little bit more like an impact. It was kind of looking like what I drew before was happening right at the impact. And this way, I think it feels more like it's happening a little bit after. And I think his whole head might need to be a tiny bit bigger in comparison to his jaw. Because his jaw is getting kind of knocked over pretty far. Yeah. But let me flip it really quick and see. You know what might be cool? Maybe it doesn't make as much sense, but we could try doing something where like he's in the back as like a weird shadow. This might not work. Let's move him up a little bit. And let's make him smaller. I'm gonna redo the eyes. They're too big. His eyes aren't that big. You know, something like this, but we just like overly emphasize the shadows. This is kind of what I'm thinking. kind of coming together a little bit. And then this all becomes like filled in. It's very stylistic. Obviously his head can't be here. But I almost think of like the malice of the character appearing before him or something. And appearing maybe more chimpanzee-like almost, you know? Because if this is that same kind of color, I think the only thing, I like it, but it just feels disconnected because you know it's his arm. You know it's his arm, and you know he can't possibly reach around like that. I don't think there's a way to make it like look like he can. You know, it's like that's his shoulder there. You'd have to like have pretty crazy long arm there. I mean, I think it's okay. We can just we can leave it here. We're gonna turn this down. We'll think about it. We'll think about if there's a good way to do all of this. But for now, we draw what needs to be drawn. All right. Gotta say, like, man, I know I've said this before, but the chimpanzees are just so fun to draw, man. They're so fun to draw. All right. Okay. That's pretty good. Let's keep going here. Gonna make this so much more spiky, just to kind of show how quickly he's getting hit. Okay. I'm gonna draw some of this hair as well. Leave that there. That's kind of a terrible line. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. Okay. See if I can get these fingers to look quite right. Gotta kind of lock in on that. All right, cool. Cool. I think that's okay. I think we can not fix, but like refine it more with the details layer. Okay. Let's try making this work. Alright, I always have to skip this because it starts getting a little too crazy. We don't need all that. This is it's probably the hardest panel out of the 5 that we're doing today. So much to think about. I don't like thinking. I like stinking. Am I right? Am I right, ladies? Fellas? Folks? Okay. Okay. That's something. That's certainly it's a thing that exists. In fact, if you didn't know, if you're curious, or if anybody was thinking about looking it up, just thought I'd let you know ahead of time. No. Okay. Let's go a little bit. Will that work? I think it will work. Just got to connect those lines there. Okay. Okay, so curious. What if take this, right? Okay. Take these simple shapes that I've created. All right. Do the same kind of idea over here. I'm trying to cook something up, man. Trying to cook something up. See if it works. Okay, and then we take this. Okay. Trust. What if this is filled in? We might be cooking. I think that's the idea. That is the idea. We need one more set of lines, though. We go like this. Okay. Just to kind of outline that hair a little bit better. So then when you fill it, okay, all right. We got something. And I think you want to kind of do the same thing here. I don't like that line. Try something different. Something simpler. All right. We also fill in this here. We're gonna erase a little lower then. Okay. All right. We're doing something. What the hell we're doing, I don't know. So at this point, we want to just add the details. But also, we did not finish this part here. Let's finish it. Okay, now that can be filled in pretty easily. Let's get the details in here. Okay. All right. I love the transition between this song and the next because they're not from the same game. It's very nice. It's very nice. Okay, let's focus on the details that I cannot miss. So we can turn off that framework layer that we've been working off of. We won't need it anymore. Also, this needs to happen there. Missed that. Oh, I just realized how much it filled over here. Can I turn you down a little bit? Hold on, why did you fill? Because you don't touch here. Go over here, delete that. Okay, now if I turn you back up, you look a little normal now. Okay. Let's erase that little bit there. All right. I think we can erase this now. And just kind of focus on what's going on here. I'm telling you, trust this transition. I'm telling you. So good. Can't believe I came up with it. I don't know, maybe somebody's done it somewhere out there in the world. Okay. Get your hair as well. Alright, I think it's coming up soon. I kind of want to stay quiet for it because I want to hear it too. It's not that I'm a quiet streamer, it's that I really like this transition between these two songs. That's seamless, man. That's seamless. That's crazy. Gotta fix his nose. Boom. That's so good. I love it. I love it. Okay. Speedlines are gonna be a little bit hard. Because we got like a black background somewhere. We got a white background. Which we can make dark, I guess. But let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Parallel curve, yes. Sir. Okay. Let's start with black with this on. And maybe we can find something that works here. Might be okay, actually. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like the speed lines can really go either way once you start adding the tone in. And you might be like, ah, it's too much. I don't know. Starting to try to lean away from using so many. And I think also the goal is probably to lean away from using them almost at all on the like main subject, like the main focus area. Okay, let's turn these off. Let's try toning and see how it goes. That one as well. All right, darkest parts. These here. Oh, that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. And then we're gonna go in for the fur. I think so. There's a little pixelated spot there. Let's move that out of the way. That's annoying. I didn't close off that line, and now I refuse to do so at all. We won't do it. We won't do it. We simply won't. It's not gonna happen, buddy. Sorry. His suit's also the same color. Yeah, let's throw it in there. Let's throw it in there. See how that goes. Damn, I wish I had more time today because I really want to get to this last panel. I've enjoyed all of this page, but like it is the last panel where I'm like, it's gonna be sick. It's made the most significant change since the original. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with like that, as in introduction to the villain, you know? What more could you want, man? Okay, let's see. All of you, and you, and you. All the little fingies down here. We gotta grab those. Alright. Oh, I hate the toning face because it takes so long to put the tone in, like for it to load. And I just have to sit here and look at it without the details on, so I'm like, oh, it looks hideous. It looks terrible. Okay, all of that, all of this. Oh, I didn't get his hand either. I didn't get the hand. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Yeah, if I could have it so these tones would load in better. What do you want, kitty? It's not dinner time. No, it's not dinner time. What's up? You want to say hello? What's up? Hi. Hi. She's over here. Just pressing buttons on my keyboard. Camera's over there. Ooh, don't fall. Don't fall. There she is. There she is. Wow, she won't even look at you. Come on. You don't see yourself over there? Come on. There you go. There you go. Nope. You hear her purring? She's a licker too. Oh my goodness. She loves to lick us when we're holding her. And it's cute and all, but sometimes she'll lick that same spot over and over again. Okay, she's like hopping all the way up here. And you know, cat tongues are rough. So it's like she's like scratching you over and over again. It just feels like she's rubbing away all the skin or something. Oh my goodness. You're kind of stinky. You're kind of stinky, kitty. Alright. Were you gonna chill here while I draw? No, no, no. Don't mess with that. Alright, I think I gotta do that. I can select this. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Oh, that hurt. Just chill out, girl. Just chill out. Alright. Are you watching yourself? You're not on stream right now. You're not showing yourself. He's just staring pretty adamantly at the preview. At like my little preview over here of the stream. This is nice because so I mentioned before that she's kind of like stressed out for some reason. We don't know why. She's losing a little bit of hair on her belly. Hi. And she used to sit up here with me when I would go to work. And it was cool. She would hang out or whatever. But she hasn't done this in a long time. She hasn't like hopped up here on her own and just hang out with me. She'll avoid that a lot. I don't love... Okay, are you heading out? Are you heading out? What are you doing? She's got like all of her paws on different spots of the chair and desk. Alright, she's heading out. I think maybe we do a separate layer and fill it, man. Sure, let's turn these off. Because I don't think it looks good. Two different backgrounds, you know? It looks odd. Alright. Okay, and then we go with halftones to finish it all up. We'll still need to turn the speed lines off. But we're pretty much done here. So that is nice. That is nice. I think once we have these halftones in here too, it'll look a little cleaner, a little better and stuff. It's a little tough with like impact frames. Oh my goodness, she left so much like cat hair up here. It's getting on my tablet. Because I found if you add too much detail with some of these types of things, it just kind of gets lost. Like you don't really see what's going on. It's a little hard to tell. And yeah, if you add too little, it kind of looks plain. I think the halftones will help with kind of finding that balance. At least from what I've been able to gather from using them, I think they're gonna help with that a little bit. Okay, let's keep this mostly in halftone on this side here. Keep this mostly in halftone as well. We'll throw in a bunch of halftone around here. Make that look kind of swollen a bit. Just realized I didn't add the color there. Let's do that really quick. Let's just throw it in there. Nice and easy. Come back to the halftone, get our brush back. It's already feeling natural to me, man. That extra click is worth it, man. It's worth it, I tell you what. Alright, alright. Oops, oops. You coming back already? No, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're chilling. Let's increase the brush size here a little bit. Erase that a little bit. Let me get the soft brush here, lighten this up a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way this is going. I think this will work out just fine. Raise a tiny bit there, there. And we keep adding some more over here. Tighten it up a tiny bit. I haven't even tried like the scratchiness either, which is another thing. I used to do that more, but I guess I haven't felt the need to try that on top of it all because it just flows so well. But I should. It's feeling good doing that right now. I did not fill this. This should be filled. All right. We're at the finish line for today. Just about. Just about. One little line I did not draw. I need it over here. It's like the lapel. Okay. He looks kind of squished a little bit. It's okay. It's a silly panel. It's a silly panel. More serious panel is the next one. And then, yeah, oh man, you know what sucks? I just realized this. I can't stream tomorrow, so I won't even get to finish this page tomorrow. I have to do some other stuff. That sucks. That sucks. Gonna have to wait till Wednesday, man. Wednesday? No way. Wednesday? I gotta wait till Wednesday? Let's throw this back on. There's no text here, right? No. Okay. Well, that's it. That's it. No, not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Wednesday. I'll have to come in and do this. So if you want to watch me do this, you gotta subscribe with the bell, because otherwise you won't know. You're gonna forget by Wednesday. You're gonna think you're gonna remember, but you're not gonna remember. But unless you're watching the VOD, I guess maybe it's already out. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like got a lot done. Got a lot done. Some of these are pretty simple panels, but I tried to put some detail into each one. So we are gonna finish up then. But as for now, let's play a bop real quick as we do an outro. You know what bop I'm playing. This one. Let's go. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out, for watching, for taking a small peek, or maybe popping in after it's live. But we are coming back on Wednesday, doing the super cool panel on Wednesday, finishing this up on Wednesday. Probably doing more than just that panel on Wednesday. There's a little bit on the next page, which is also pretty cool. It's got some cool panels in there. One of them is a One Punch reference. So One Punch reference. So if you want to see that, stick around. I've got to get my hair cut. And yeah, consider subscribing. Consider liking the video. Consider checking out the other videos I got. Got more than just live streams. So, love you all, nibblings. See ya.